Hello students, today's topic is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. This is the topic of class 12 and it is very important for us to study this. So let us get started with it. So sexual reproduction means, first of all we have to study about what reproduction is, right? So reproduction means, as the word suggests, that re means again and production, formation, right? So the formation of new individual from pre-existing one is known as reproduction, right? So now, as our topic is reproduction in flowering plants, so we have to understand that what flowering plant is. Basically we have two types of plants, gymnosperms and angiosperms. So all the angiosperms are categorized under flowering plant. Right? So before going ahead, we have to study about the main structure, main thing of this flowering plants, angiosperm, that is the structure of flower. What is flower? Flower is a sexual organ of a plant. Structure of flower. So it involves the parts of flower having which it consists of sepals, petals, androecium, gynoecium. We will discuss it in detail further. Second is, which is also very important, is gametogenesis. Right? So what is gametogenesis? Gametogenesis is formation of gamete. Gameto, this is the word, ये दो वर्ड से मिलकर बना है, gametes and genesis. So gameto means gametes, genesis means formation, or you can say to produce, formation. So basically we have in flowering plants, we have two types of gametes. One is megaspores and microspores. As you know, mega means large, micro means small. So these are the two different sexes of the plants. Megaspores are the female gametes and microspores are the male gametes. The process of formation of megaspores is known as megasporogenesis. And formation of microspores is known as microsporogenesis. Right? So before going ahead, we are coming back to our first topic, which is structure of flower. Now we are going to study it in detail, that what are the basic structures involved in flower and their functions along with, right? So I am drawing a basic structure of a flower. This is our basic structure, in which this is first part is thalamus, this is sepal. So the sepal, if we consider about first leaf, only one leaf like structure is present, that is known as sepal. but if talk about complete whorl of sepals, that is known as calyx. Right? Second is petal. Petal is the colored part of a flower which is used for attracting the pollinating agents for pollination. We will study pollination later in our next lectures. So petals are generally bright in colors to attract pollinators, right? So main function of it is to attract pollinators, and main function of sepal is the sepal protects the flower at its bud stage. Whenever the bud कली की form में होता है, उसको protect करने के लिए from the external environment, sepal structure is present there. Now second, as sepal has a as I have told you that sepal, if one leaf-like structure, that is known as sepal, and complete whorl is known as calyx. Similarly, if we talk about one petal, it is petal, but if talk about the complete whorl of petal, it is known as corolla. Right? So this is basically helpers, we can say. And now we are talking. Now we are going to talk about more important part, male organ and the female part of a flower. So male part of flower is consists of two parts. I am drawing here. This is anther. Here also I have marked, and this stalk-like structure called as filament. So anther, generally in flowers, it can be monothecous and it can be bithecous also, right? So anther, it consists of, it is having various pollen grains. जो हमारे pollen grains हैं वो कहाँ form होते हैं? They are forming inside the anthers like this. So as I have told you that anther consists of pollen grains. So here a new word came, pollen grains. So what pollen grain is? Pollen grain is nothing but just they are the small pores. Like, okay, they are the small pores present inside the anther, which is going to fuse, or you can say the take part in next step, which is fertilization. And we can also say that these are the main sex cells. So next is female part of a flower, so which is known as pistil. So pistil has the three main parts: stigma, style, and ovary. Right? There is one more part inside the ovary. This is ovary. Inside the ovary, small globular structures are present. Those structures are known as ovules or female sex cells. Right? So these three parts consist of, it is called as pistil. Or you can say gynoecium also. हम इसको gynoecium भी बोलते हैं. Gynoecium. Right? So now let us talk about the function of stigma, style, and ovary one by one. So stigma is present to receive pollen grains. Here anther is present. Anther having a pollen grains. So the pollen grains after dehiscence, they move towards stigma, and stigma receives that. So जब pollen grain यहाँ पे आएगा, उसको receive करने का function होता है stigma का, right? Later style क्या है? It's just a passage. किसका passage है? Pollen tube का. So अगर जैसे ये हमारा pollen grain है, यहाँ पे pores होते हैं, ठीक है? Germ pores जनरली कहते हैं. Pollen tubes यहीं से arise होगी. This is the structure of pollen grain. ये भी हम अभी next lectures में करेंगे. यहाँ से pollen tube arise होगी. वो arise होते होते from the stigma through style ovary के अंदर जाके ovules तक जाएगी और fertilization का process होगा. ये जो process है pollen tube का बनना, pollen grains का receive होना, pollen tube का बनना, ovule तक पहुंचना, इस event को बोलते हैं pre-fertilization event. आफ्टर जब ये ओवरी तक पहुंच जाता है फिर फर्टिलाइजेशन होती है, और फर्टिलाइजेशन के बाद देयर इज अ पोस्ट फर्टिलाइजेशन इवेंट. सो 3 इवेंट्स वी हैव टू स्टडी अंडर द सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन इन flowering plant. So we are basically now we are studying only the structure of flower. So next is ovary. So what is ovary? It is basically receiving the male gametes which are transferred through pollen grains via pollen tube, right, for fertilization. And one more thing, ovary is called as future fruit. Future में कौन सी चीज fruit बनेगी, that is ovary. इट इज गेटिंग ये स्वेल हो जाएगी और इसमें क्या है, एडिबल पार्ट भर जाएगा. एंड व्हाट इज ओव्यूल? ओव्यूल इज नोन एज फ्यूचर सीड्स, राइट? ओके, सो वी हैव स्टडीड अबाउट द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ फ्लावर. So let us get a quick recap of this. In structure of flower we have sepals. This leaf-like structure is known as sepal. One leaf is called as sepal, complete is called as calyx. Then petals, which is there, which is the colored part of a flower to attract pollinators, pollinating agents, and complete wall of petal is known as corolla. Next, the male reproductive part, which is called as stamen. Stamen has two main parts, anther and a filament. Anther is attached through filament, and it is having pollen grains. As I told you that pollen grains are male sex cells, right? Next, female part, which is known as pistil or gynoecium. It is having 3 parts: stigma, style, and ovary. So the stigma is there for receiving pollen grains. Style is providing the passage of pollen tube to pollen grains, and the ovary, it receives the final male sex cells for the event of fertilization. So ovary is known as the future future fruit, and ovule, which is a small globular structure present inside the ovary, which is known as the egg, or you can say that the female sex cells. So they are called as the future seeds. So till here we have done only the structure of flower. So next lecture we will discuss about the gametogenesis, how these ovule turned up to the gametes like megasporogenesis, and these pollen grains turn to the microsporogenesis. We will do it in next lecture. Thank you.